So this is lesson 2.2 in elementary algebra. The name of the section is called the addition property of equality. And since you've all had algebra 1, this is going to be just some review for you. And we are looking at, well, let's just start off with example number 1. And they give us 2x minus 3 equals 7. And they say, is 5 a solution to that? And what we mean by solution is it a number that when we put it in, the 5 in here for x, in for a variable, does that make this a true statement? So does 2 times 5 minus 3 equals 7? Yes, it does. So 5 is a solution. If we look at example 2, it's asking, is negative 2 a solution to 8 equals 3x plus 4? So it's saying, is negative 2 a solution? Well, let's find out. If we take 8 and we put 3 times negative 2 in for x, we get 8 equals, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 plus 4. 8 equals, difference between those two is 2. Put the sign of the largest one on there. No, it is not the case. So negative 2 does not give us a true solution or a correct solution. So therefore, negative 2 is not one of the answers. One of the definitions that they give in the book is 2 or more equations with the same solution are said to be equivalent equations. So for the most part, what that's saying is if we have 2 equations and they have the same solution set, then they're equivalent equations. So for example, if I have the equation x plus 2 equals 5, there's one equation, and I have another equation that says x equals 3. Well, if x equals 3, then that means we can replace the x over here with 3, correct? Because I said x equals 3, and 3 equals 3, so that's true. If I put 3 in here, what do I get? 3 plus 2 equals 5. That is a solution set, or 3 is one of the solutions as well. So x plus 2 equals 5 and x equals 3 are two equations that are equal to each other, so therefore they're what is called equivalent. If we have something like y plus 3 equals 4, and I also have y minus 8 equals negative 7, and I have y equals 1. Now the question is, are those three equations equivalent? Well, y equals 1, so if we put 1 in here, is that a true statement? Is 1 minus 8 negative 7? Yes. If we put 1 over here, then that's a true statement. So all three of those are true statements, so therefore they're called equivalent equations. So if two numbers are equal, and we increase both of them by the same number, the resulting quantities are also equal. Which means if two numbers are equal, so if we took, let's say x plus 6, and we said that that was equal to 5. So we're saying that this side of the equation and this side of the equation are equal, which means that there is a value for x we can put in here that when we add 6 to it, we're going to get 5. Well, if you remember from algebra, and we'll just kind of real quickly go through this because you already know how to do this. If we have x plus 6 equals 5, in order to get the x by itself, to find out what it is, we have to get rid of everything else on that side of the equal sign, in this case 6. We do that by subtracting 6 from both sides. So remember, if a number is added to the variable, to get it to go away, we subtract it from both sides. So 6 minus 6 is 0, so this one goes away. 5 minus 6 is what this says, is negative 1. So what we're saying then is this equation that we had that was x plus 6 equals 5. Well, if we want these to be equivalent, then this x value has to equal negative 1 so that when we add 6, we get 5. All right, so a lot of theory over things that you already know how to do. So if that was confusing at all, I apologize for that. It shouldn't be confusing. You should know how to do it. You should be able to take x minus 5 equals 12 and add 5 to both sides. Those go away and we get x equals 17. So that should be just old stuff to you. If you look at example 5, we have a plus 3/4, and we're saying that that equals negative 1/2. So in order to get this a by itself, which is our goal here, we're going to have to subtract 3/4 from here, which will make that go away, and then subtract 3/4 from here. So a equals negative 1/2 minus 3/4. And in order to do this subtraction here, we have to find common denominators. Common denominator of 1/2 and 3/4 would be the 4. So let's move this up here. So we have a equals negative, and we're going to put a 4 here instead of a 2, and that we're going to make a 2 because 2/4 reduces to 1/2, and this is 3/4. So negative 2 minus 3/4, or negative 2 plus negative 3/4, means that the signs are the same, so we add those, put that over 4, and we put a negative on our answer. So a equals negative 5/4. That means that when we take negative 5/4 and we put it back into our original equation, that will make a true statement. So that is the key here. We're trying to find out what value the variable needs to be in order to make it a true statement. All right, so that is 2.2a, and we'll continue on with 2.2b.